NBA Finals Game 5. I actually predicted the Golden State Warriors would win this in 5, even though I had them winning in Game 4. I didn't expect them to jump out the way they did and pull that victory in Game 3 after coming back the way they did. But Game 4 was a disgrace of a NBA Finals to me. The referees should not dictate who wins and loses the game, and that's what I felt like what happened. They just didn't want a sweep to happen. They wanted to go an extra game so they can get that extra revenue money and television revenue money. So I just felt like that was just poor. Now I actually think and I believe that it's ending tonight. Golden State at home. The role players will play better. I think Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, all three will go for a huge night, and Draymond Green will be that army Swiss knife, just doing everything. Defense, rebounding, giving you 14 to 17 points, which is just an added bonus. I think Golden State defensively gets back to what they're doing, force the Cleveland Cavaliers to go half court, force them to play into their hands of the ISO basketball that they like to play. And I think Klay Thompson will play better defense on Kyrie Irving. LeBron will have his typical stat stuffing triple double, and probably have 28, 10, and 11, and that's what every analysis will just get caught up in. But I think Golden State wins tonight. And once again, I want to apologize for NBA 2K's idiocy for not having any sound. I would prefer you hear the sounds of the game and minor commentary, but I have to provide some type of commentary because NBA 2K wants to mute the sound when I record it off my PS4. It's just idiotic. I hope 2K18 fixes that problem because that's really going to get irritating. But overall, I got the Golden State winning. I think they'll get out in transition. They'll exploit that horrendous defense that the Cavs got in transition, and I think it's going to go down like that tonight. After Friday night, after witnessing that abomination of a game to me, they had 68 at halftime still, not playing their best games, and they just missed a lot of open shots. It wasn't like, Cavaliers defense magically played great. There were open shots that they usually hit. Steph Curry played like crap, just didn't play well at all. I think he'll rectify his game tonight, and I think they'll bounce back at home and just end it. I think they'll end it tonight. I think Golden State in this game will get back to their what they do best: play great half-court defense and get out in transition and get those easy buckets, then get the threes. I would attack, force them to collapse, then open up the three-pointer. But my mindset is attack, play with a vengeance, play with some type of assertiveness to end this. Just end it tonight if I'm Golden State. Put the Cavs out of their misery because they're going to play desperate, so it's not going to be a blowout. They're going to play desperate. J.R. Smith will probably have another big game, but I think the bench in a combination of Golden State's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant, and if you can get 14 to 17 points out of Draymond Green, I think that would be too much to overcome for Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they'll just end up doing it, and I think they'll win it on the defensive end. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's been like that throughout the first 4 games, especially for the Golden State Warriors. If they get 60-plus points by halftime again, I think they win this. They win this, and it might be one of those, like, Cleveland will probably keep it within that 7-8 range, but I think they'll lead the whole game, and I just think Golden State would just find a way to get more buckets. They just got too many weapons. I think the firepower will come out and be strong tonight in tonight's game. Tonight, I just think they're gonna take it. Golden State, with the firepower they got and the ability to play amazing defense, I think it's going to be too much for the Cavs. If I'm looking at Game 4 and Golden State was wide open for shots. The Cavs didn't all of a sudden just have, great defenders. It was more like what I saw from the Boston series and the Toronto series and even Indiana. Open shots are still available because their defense overall, their transition defense and their half-court defense isn't that good. Kevin Love still makes mistakes out there. J.R. Smith still makes bonehead mistakes out there, and Kyrie Irving is becoming more of a liability, even though he has the ability to play some decent defense. He's still getting caught doing some bonehead things out there, and they still gave up open shots. I mean, Golden State still managed to score 68 points, although Cleveland had 86 at halftime. Not so good for the Warriors defense, but if you're going to have a lapse in defense, it would most likely be that game in Game 4. But I think Kerr will go back, look at the film, and correct the defensive mistakes because Golden State plays consistent good defense throughout a series compared to the Cavaliers defense that still was bad throughout these 4 games, even though with a huge win they had in Game 4. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I have Golden State winning. They have the better defense to complement their great offense, which is a deadly, deadly thing for Cleveland, which has a fantastic offense, but a poor defense. The 22nd ranked defense will come back to bite them tonight. They just don't have enough guys that can play defense on their roster. It's just not deep enough. And J.R. Smith is going to have another huge game, but on the road, will he show up? I don't know. You can see how well he played when they get back home, but on the road, it's a totally different story. So, like the cliche says, role players play better when they're at home. So I got the Warriors role players playing better at home than Cavaliers playing better on the road. So I just think in that aspect they got the advantage, and I really think Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, all 3 of those guys, will have an offensive explosion. You might see 120, 122 tonight from them. If they get in that range, the game is over. But I just think the way they can play defense. I'm going to keep harping on this because Cavaliers fans are going to be like, oh, look what happened last year and all that. That's fine. Your defense wasn't bad last year. It was pretty good. This year's defense isn't that good to win 4 games consistently. That's a pretty tough task against a much more high-powered offense. So I'm just looking at it from a logical standpoint, a basketball matchup standpoint, than being a complete fan of whatever. I'm just looking at it from a matchup standpoint. And I think you will get a great game. I don't think you'll get that game from Steph Curry. I think their defense will be on point and get them a victory in Game 5 tonight. I think Golden State, they're going to get crowned the champions tonight. I got Golden State winning by 7 to 8 points. Close game, but I think Kevin Durant, Steph Curry will make some big clutch baskets down the stretch to push the lead and give them a comfortable win. I think Golden State wins. They're going to be the NBA champions of 2017.